Uh-oh. Oh my God, Evan, there's so much in the thumbnail alone, let alone the topics.
I know there's so much today. We packed in a lot of trailers. Super Bowl trailer Sunday was good. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I haven't watched the Super Bowl in full, maybe ever. But it's great to catch all these trailers online while I'm playing games and just casually waiting for trailers to drop. And we got some good trailers. I was so excited, especially to see like Twisters. That was a big one for me because I love Twister. I love Twister. We got to do a commentary this year of Twister.
We do. I still haven't seen it.
No doubt. It's one of my favorite movies. It's just so cheesy, fun, crazy. I just love it so much. And then Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was amazing. Wicked was really solid. Deadpool 3 is back in action. So I'm excited. And there's some fun movie news that we missed from last week as well. Excuse me. So it's a big packed episode, but I'm excited to finally talk about it.
118 topics for the 118th.
Are we on 118?
We are.
Oh, geez, that's crazy.
We just speedometer it and just change it back to 18.
We should.
Oh God, how confusing that'd be. Just we reboot the podcast. We just have a new name every 100.
That'd be amazing. That take a lot of effort, though. We're not super effort people.
We're just stealing names from people who could have like, oh fuck, I thought of that.
But yeah, let's start off here. Let's start off hot. So everybody will be watching trailers along the way. We have a whole playlist of the main trailers that dropped over the weekend. So we put them all in one big giant extravaganza playlist. Six trailers, not giant. But
ladies and gentlemen, we are not getting monetized whatsoever on this video. So if you could please just like the video. You don't gotta do nothing.
Yeah, like
you have to subscribe.
Hopefully you've seen it before. We go over it right here, right now. That way, I'm sorry. I always act like I never know how to share screen whenever we do this. Hopefully you've seen it before. That way, no big surprises are in store for people, and we can talk while we go over it because we're going to be talking a lot over these trailers because we've seen most of them already, right? Have you seen them all?
I've seen. I think the only one I really haven't seen is Twisters.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. That's perfect. It's a great trailer. Can you see this? Are we good?
Yeah, full screen. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I want to make sure it was on the screen. It is.
Awesome. So we're starting off here with Knuckles, which I think dropped a little bit before Super Bowl Sunday, sometime earlier last week. But this is going to be a great year for Sonic fans. We have Sonic 3 dropping still around Christmas time, December 20th, somewhere around there. So Sonic 3 is coming out this year, and Knuckles, the new TV show for Paramount Plus, going all in on the Sonic universe.
I completely forgot this was happening. But pleasantly surprised. It's just amusing how committed Idris Elba is to this.
I know. He loves this character. The voice work is amazing. So let's get started here. We're going to normal speed this, right? Probably, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Let me lower the volume so I can hear people.
That should be good.
Okay, that should be good. 3, 2, 1, here we go.
Let's go.
You're an alien. You're super powerful. You recently saved the world with your friends. What do you like to do for fun?
Is it not lagging for you?
Vengeance.
It did for a second. It caught up.
I was thinking more like
Nathan, can you hear me?
Or yoga.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, got it.
Hey, buddy. Isn't it great to finally relax?
I am an Echidna warrior.
I have no idea who this guy that he's talking to throughout the trailer is, by the way. We see Sonic's family, but who's the other guy?
Nope, we are not.
He's a side character in both movies. He works with
What is Halsey doing here?
our main boy in the police station.
Okay.
Is that our mailman?
This is not a place of battle, so I will begin my quest. Come, Weed.
Most people think I'm a joke.
I do not make jokes.
Like I totally forget who this guy is, but I'm excited for the goofy human character Knuckles team up.
I'm not sure what I would have expected from a show like this. I didn't expect them to have a full, like, the whole film cast back, basically.
He's the key to my newest creation.
You what?
Bring me Knuckles.
For what?
Sorry, this lane is
The full cast of the family.
Take my power.
Oh. Yeah. Like it just seemed like a longer version. Oh, I love that. I love that line, by the way. Do you think I need your power? Which is a straight up parody of the line from the Sonic 2 trailer.
Right.
I made a promise to protect this planet. I am ready.
Oh, snap! Someone's
Wow.
about to get slapped.
Yeah, see, the effects on this are really cool. Oh, we got the rings at the
Yeah.
end too. That was really cool.
I think today is going to be a beautiful day.
Knuckles, help me!
You gonna rescue?
That was
him?
dark.
No, he must learn to rescue himself.
Wow.
Oh, he's drinking the whole pot of coffee. Yeah, so we covering all episodes weekly, Evan?
Weekly. I don't know. When did I say it was coming out?
Was it April? Oh, they jumped.
I think April or something. If we're not busy, we could just cover the whole thing at once, or it depends. It depends basically. If we have time, I guess we could. There's just so much shows coming out, dude. Like we have Avatar coming out soon. Invincible is still coming out soon. There's a lot of TV
Commentary,
shows
all
out.
the Sonic movies and the show.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, what's up, Caleb Richardson? I personally wonder why they cast big names for Sonic, Knuckles, and Shadow, but for Tails, they cast a video game voice actress. I wonder what big name they would have gone with. Great point. I didn't even know they had the video game actress play the Tails character, but yeah,
I didn't remember that bit. Yeah, that is an interesting question to pose. Like, who would they have cast for Tails from our, Hollywood sphere? That's a good question.
Dakota Johnson. Probably
Amazing.
not. Yeah. What was I going to say? We still haven't gotten confirmation on Shadow. The only name I've heard is Hayden. Our boy.
Oh, Hayden Christensen. That's right.
Hayden
That was
Christensen.
going around.
That's been going around, but we have no confirmation. I think that would be perfect casting, voice casting. But yeah, I'm not sure. Caleb, by the way, I've been listening to the my friend, not my friend, person I follow on Twitch. He did like a Sonic video game tier list of all like the opening sequence song and for all those Sonic video games. And I got so nostalgic for the Sonic Unleashed. Yeah, it was just called Sonic Unleashed. It was on the Wii. I played it all the time. And they have an opening song, which I love. I forget what it's called now. But the opening theme song for Sonic Unleashed was like my jam. So I used to love playing Sonic Unleashed, Sonic and something rings.
The 10 Rings, the Legend of the 10 Rings.
Legend of the 10 Rings, exactly. What else did I used to play?
Wreckage of Time.
Stop it. It was Sonic and the Black Knight was also a very fun. I think it was called Sonic and the Black Knight. But like the Sonic Wii era, that was like fully me, especially during like the Smash Bros era. Like after Smash Bros and then the TV show I used to watch on WB all the time. Like I used to be a huge Sonic person. I just kind of weaned off after I stopped playing on the Wii and stuff. But yeah,
I'm pretty. Sonic has always been like a presence of like in the peripheral for me, but
Yeah.
I've never like been like I really hadn't gamed much with Sonic, like outside of the Mario and Sonic Olympic games, both of them. I played those. And I might have played one, like it would be like you go to a friend's house, they have a Sonic game, you play once, and then you haven't touched the game in 12 years.
I see that. Yeah.
But I did love watching Sonic X when I was a kid, on WB Kids.
Yeah, Sonic. Yeah, that was a show. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Sonic X was my shit. I started my Sonic journey with Frontiers. I've been vaguely aware of Sonic before the movies, but never got into it until the first movie. I've always wanted to play Sonic Frontiers, a recent one. It looked very cool. It might be on sale on PlayStation right now.
The concept of racing games in general, where you're going like high speed through obstacles, it's always compelling. And if you could do it creative, I mean, there's like plenty of like mobile games that have like Subway Surfer type things where people are just like, it's monotonous, it's very repetitive. But Sonic can get like really creative, where you have to go through certain paths, you go through certain obstacles and enemies that you have to avoid or work off of and collect rings. That's a lot of fun. I would definitely be compelled to play a Sonic game.
Yeah, me too. But let's jump into our next trailer here. A Quiet Place, not day 59 or 100 or wherever they were on the movies. Day 1. We're going back to the past, Samurai Jack style.
Nice.
So yeah, here we go. 3, 2, 1. The trailer for A Quiet Place, Day 1.
He's back somehow again.
There we go.
That
they were on day 400, so they were like a year and a half in. Yeah. And we only saw like a week of their lives, basically. They're great movies, man. New York City.
We got this perspective with our main family in a small town, but a full-scale city invasion,
that's so compelling. I'm so interesting. Do we think that she is deaf? Or no. Oh my god, this is terrifying.
This is wild.
Joseph Quinn, our new Human Torch here.
Let's go.
Man, seeing the bridge, like these effects look fantastic. Lupita already looks like she's going to be super interesting as a main character.
Yeah, and John Hansu's back.
We know how he dies. Weirdly enough.
Doesn't that suck? Doesn't that suck to know?
It does suck. I'm like, I forgot he was in the movie.
This man's the new Sean Bean. He's always dying.
He's always dying. He's always in some kind of big movie. What a great shot. Holy shit.
Oh,
so that's
man.
interesting. Okay, let's see here. Caleb says, from what I understand, she's the wife of the black dude from the second movie. That didn't make that could make sense. That tracks. Jaimon Hansu, fantastic actor. He's great and everything. His death was kind of one of my weaker points. One of the small little nitpicks, I could say, in A Quiet Place 2, where he one the sequence, like he told everybody to leave, and then he goes to make noise and distracts them, and he dies. Or he does some stupid shit or something. I forget.
It feels like there's a constant. It's a new trope, isn't it? Where you have all the chaos go down, and then there's survivors, and this nice man brings you in. It's like, oh, stay with us. You'll be safe here. And, oh, these are good people, and the threat takes him out.
Yeah, the threat takes him out. Unfortunately, he couldn't survive. Like once the threat finally arrived at his door.
Now I love Logan, but that happened there too.
Yeah. Logan's peak. I'm excited to see his character. I'm excited to see like what makes Lupita's character so interesting that she is able to survive this. Like what makes her so like unique. That's gonna be fun. At least like what sets her apart from the other main characters that we've seen so far. And what I like is that this isn't a huge family ordeal. She is the wife, as we now know, of Daimon Hansu's character. But like I like it that this isn't a full-on family affair. It seems like a lot of random people just trying to get saved. It was originally supposed to take place in Asia because on the news in the beginning of the second movie, they said the meteor shower hit there first. That's interesting. That still might be the case. It might still hit Asia first, but day one, it hits everywhere. So
it is
yeah.
really compelling that the whole like concept of like this meteor shower. We don't know how these creatures came to be crash landing, right? It's because it doesn't seem like they're functioning off of like immense intelligence. Maybe there's a greater story to be told of like intergalactic warfare shit, or like
don't do this.
These
They're
were
going to create
these prisoners were being transferred, these unruly beasts. And you don't have to obviously dive into that, but just the fact that like shit like that could be out there. But more so the visual idea that the crash landing spread throughout the whole globe, like it hit from so many directions, is terrifying.
Super terrifying. And yeah, you're right. Like we don't really know how these creatures came to like just come in into Earth. I hope we never really fully know. I hope we never feel like, okay, the directory, they came from Jupiter's moon and then they came all the way here looking for like, okay, I don't need to know all that. I just know like what kind of creatures they are. They're not, really fans of sound. So I wonder how that's going to play. Because like, again, we're coming at this with so much knowledge based off of the first two movies about how the creatures work. While our characters day one have no idea. Or at least they're going to know to be quiet eventually, of course. But you never know, like, how are they going to solve their ordeal this time around?
That was one of my favorite moments in the opening of 2, where everyone was hiding in the diner, all quiet, and somebody was trying to get a hold of their family, and obviously it was like, no, shut up, quiet. And then you think they're about to pass through, but then like it's on vibrate mode and it goes off. And
like,
all is lost. And that was just in a small town setting. Put that in the loudest city in our country. That's wow. Which could also be a benefit too, with just an overload of sound, perhaps. We don't know.
True. That's a great point. Like it's gonna be noisy as hell. But it's interesting. I think it has to reach a certain decibel for them to be fully stunned, the alien creatures. Because otherwise they hear it and it is slash and it's dead. So we'll see. But yeah, that was retold when Margot Sornowski took over the project after John Krasinski chose to work on a part 3 instead. Yeah, this is interesting. I remember being so nervous. I'm like, oh no, John Krasinski is not a part of this franchise. But then we got news that Michael Sarnowski, I always say Karnowski, but it's Sarnowski, is helming this project. And I cannot wait for that because I adore Pig. Pig came out in 2021, I believe. It's one of the best films of that year. I think it was my number 6 or 5 of that year, if I can remember correctly, whatever. But it was a fantastic movie. If you have not seen Pig, I believe it's on Hulu still. It's streaming somewhere. I think if you Google Pig, Nicolas Cage, you'll find it. What's that?
I think it is Hulu.
Yeah, I think it is Hulu too. It's fantastic. It's a great character drama. It's not what you expect. I think you will love it. If anybody who watches this channel likes what we like and stuff like that, Michael Sarnowski's Pig will be amazing. In a just world, this trailer would be like, Michael Sarnowski, the director of Pig, is A Quiet Place Day 1, but they can't really market that because it's a $5 million movie that people have hardly seen. But that's what I would do. So yeah, I'm super stoked. I love this franchise coming out in the heat of the summer season in June. So I'm going to be seeing this multiple times in theaters if it's good. But yeah, here we go for another highly anticipated movie. I'll gush afterwards and during it and everything. It's a great trailer. Let's head on in. Let's watch Twisters.
First time watch. Let's go.
First time watch.
For me.
One. Let's go.
Amblin! Amblin!
Guys, whatever's in there, it's big.
I'm gonna love that.
Anthony Ramos, Daisy Edgar Jones too. I'm excited to see more of her in a blockbuster format.
Evan, will this have the best rain I've ever seen?
Probably. Knowing you and your fan of rain, it's going to be a lot of rain, a lot of water, a lot of air. Greatly edited.
A lot of
by the
gloom.
way.
Tyler Owens.
Tyler Owens with the hat. Let's go.
If you feel
I don't know what that means.
If you feel it.
I said if you feel it.
I'm so hyped. I'm pumped. He is perfectly cast.
Is this stuff from the first movie? Are they referencing stuff?
Oh, she's perfect.
Not really.
Gorgeous.
Okay.
Anyway, I mean, besides the tornado chasing aspect.
Tornado.
Yeah.
Okay.
We never had a chance.
You want one?
I'm so excited. It's crazy.
You don't face your fears.
Whew.
You ride them.
Ride him. Famously you have Bill Paxton in the first one, but I think John Powell, that's how he's doing a fantastic job.
Well, Tyler Posey? Like, okay.
Is that it?
Nope.
Wow. This feels like something I want to experience in IMAX.
For sure. I didn't know I was going to be like a huge IMAX kind of person for this movie, but seeing the trailer now, I'm like, oh, I'm seeing this in every single format. I felt this way watching the Apes trailer as well, but I'll be seeing this one in every format. I said Guy Powell, by the way. I don't know what I'm thinking. His name is Glenn Powell. Anyways, Glenn Powell has quickly risen to be one of the best Hollywood stars in quick succession here with Top Gun coming out, really kind of jump-starting his fame and a lot of things. I love him in the movie Set It Up as well. He was in the rom-com Anyone But You, which I have not seen as well. What else was he in? He was in the one movie with Jonathan Majors, the one Vietnam War.
Oh, yeah, you like that one.
I really liked that. Him and Jonathan Majors were excellent in that movie. But yeah, of course, I love him in Top Gun and Set It Up most of all. But I forget what it was. I think it's over with a P. I don't know. It's on Paramount Plus. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
We have Letterboxd.
Yeah, we have Letterboxd. We can look it up. Look up Glenn Powell movies. I've seen most of them. He is coming out with the movie this year. He was great in Scream Queen. I never saw Scream Queens.
I know he was on there.
Never was a fan of that kind of franchise, but that's awesome. Yeah, he's coming out with a movie this year called Hitman, which seems to be really good. It's with Ariana Ahone from Andor.
Devotion.
Devotion, that's what it's called. Thank you. He's great in Devotion. Watch Devotion, people. Devotion, Top Gun, Set It Up. He's just been killing it recently. Famously also in, what was it, The Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, one of those movies.
I did see him cry there. I was like, what?
Yeah. There was a clip on Twitter, and he gets his head hit by Bane or something. One of those, yeah, whatever.
That's right. Oh, fucking, I saw this. He's one of the fucking kids in Spy Kids 3.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, yeah.
I saw that screenshot. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there was a clip or a screenshot on Twitter that was going around recently. Oh, yeah, when he was talking about, like, when they do those GQ interviews about your favorite roles or whatever.
Yeah.
And he said he liked his time playing in Spy Kids 3. It was fun. I think Spy Kids 3 is a very fun movie. We should watch those movies. We should do a commentary. It's been on our commentary list for a long time.
There's a lot of Robert Rodriguez I want to do. I want to do Sin City.
I've never seen those movies. Yeah.
Yeah, I love those. I never got to experience his Desperado trilogy.
Yeah, I've never seen it either. But yeah, going back to Twisters here. Twisters, one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a classic disaster movie with fun characters doing like insane, chasing tornadoes. Why are they chasing tornadoes? Science, so they can study it. And it's very hard to study it unless you get up close, you chase it, you feel the air, and like his energy here. Can you feel it? Like it really matches what Bill Paxton. Like Bill Paxton wasn't this huge like let's do this. Like I mean, he kind of was. He was also like one of the main antagonists of the first movie was like kind of like that arrogant science, government based by the books person, while he and his crew were more of like the free willing, like underdog type of tornado chasers that didn't have all the big budget. They didn't have all the tech or whatever. They're going to do stuff their way, like the right way kind of thing. And it makes for a very like underdog, enthusiastic protagonist in the first movie. It's a great feeling. And I think Glenn Powell is really fitting that arrogant, but also like confident main character that I can't wait to see. And I think it's going to come across really well with Daisy Edgar Jones's character, who's coming off again as like kind of like an underdog character. We see the beginning of the trailer here where her and Anthony Ramos nearly die, and then comes in Glenn Powell's character, and it seems like we can't get the job done, but this guy named Tyler Owens, he can get the job done. He has the technology. He has the right people behind him. So it might start off as like, I'm the arrogant guy who has all the resources. You should follow me. Like, if you really want to get this job done, you should follow me. But I think it might come into like, oh, this guy's kind of an asshole, but a lovable asshole, which again, Glenn Powell plays that character so well. I'm very excited to see their chemistry together, possible romance.
Fuck man, I might rewatch Maverick tonight. he's so charismatic.
Where especially in Maverick, where he's that asshole. He's also very caring and very about the mission, and he will do what he can to save his friends, as he does in Maverick.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys need to watch the original Twister. I think it came out in 1996, my birthday year, right? And Bill Paxton, one of my favorite actors of all time. He's amazing in this movie. I love me some Bill Paxton. My mom grew up with Bill Paxton, so that means I grew up with Bill Paxton.
Got another instance where you just you forget that it's such a charismatic actor that we've lost. It's like, what do you mean no more? It's like I was thinking about that with Alan Rickman. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean he's gone?
I know, right? It's so sad. And we're going to be feeling that as well with the recent passing of Carl Weathers, where it's like these great actors, it's so unfortunate to lose them, but it takes a while for you to realize, like, wow, there's, like Nathan said, there's no more. Man. By the way, like Bill Paxton was amazing. One of my favorite shows of all time, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
He was good.
He was very goofy, corny as hell, but a great antagonist who really fit the bill for the show.
It's wild the caliber that they would pull for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They had the Powers Booth. I think Edward James Olmos was on there.
Powers Booth was amazing in that show. Amazing. Again, if you have not watched Marvel's Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., I think it's all on Netflix still.
If not, I think it's Disney Plus.
Or Disney Plus. Yeah, Disney Plus now. And it's one of not only just, it's still my favorite Marvel show, live action. It's still my favorite live action show easily. I know Daredevil. Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fucking rock. And there's like 8 seasons of it compared to 3 seasons of Daredevil. Anyways.
Those 4 piano keys are outside your door.
I know, right?
It's coming.
And what else? And then it's just a fun show in general. It makes you cry, laugh, cheer. Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has everything for you. So yeah, watch that show. But up next, let's watch the next one here, which
it's a mystery. Oh, it's Wicked. All right.
It's Wicked, yeah. Okay. Wicked, the sequel to, I'm kidding, not the sequel. More of a prequel to the classic Wizard of Oz story. So here we go. Wicked, coming out this November, Thanksgiving.
the best way to bring folks together.
Something has changed.
Goldblum as the wizard
is
is a
to
great
give 'em a
choice.
real good enemy.
You're green.
Great casting, by the way. We got Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande,
Something just takes over me. And when it does,
Michelle Yeoh.
bad things
Yeah.
happen. Once you learn to harness your emotions, the sky's the limit.
I like the visuals, contrary to the internet.
Me too. Hey, we saw the classic characters.
Don't be afraid. I'm not afraid. It's the wizard who should be afraid of
Ooh.
me.
Yeah.
Ooh, I came in for this. Short teaser.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm compelled.
thoughts?
I love musicals, notoriously. I think
real quick.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Do you think it markets itself as a musical? I think it does. People are like, "Oh, why are they hiding in this musical?" I'm like, I think it pretty much shows it's Wicked, one of the biggest musicals ever. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, I think just like off the bat, I'd be shocked. It's got to be a low percentage of people that don't know what Wicked is. It was on Broadway for I think like 20 years. And even in this small tease, because it's only like a minute, people are like they're hiding the fact it's a musical, but like people are belting in it. I mean, even if you're not physically watching somebody sing, it's like I doubt you're just randomly getting a power ballad play for the soundtrack of a scene. Like somebody's singing. Like it's clear.
Exactly. I'm the same way. Like if they play one of the last notes at the end of the trailer, like that's one of the last parts of a very famous song. I think Cynthia Erivo is gonna knock it out of the park. But yeah, I was just saying that because people are like, why do franchises keep hiding that they're a musical? I'm like, I get it, I get the sentiment, but this trailer I think kind of already sells it, and it's called Wicked. Like, come on, guys. Anyways, what were you saying earlier?
I think the visuals are wonderful. I think the Land of Oz has a very lends itself to a very fantastical look and feel. It's a very rich world of different people of all different shapes, sizes, and designs, which would be fun. Like especially like the flying monkeys have always been very compelling to see how they get depicted. I think it's back in the 30s. The original adaptation of Wizard of Oz came out. They had done some here and there. Michael Jackson had one. He had an adaptation.
I love The Wiz. I love The Wiz. I grew up on that shit. I've probably seen The Wiz more than Wizard of Oz. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, even the Muppets did Wizard of Oz. And Sam Raimi did the Wizard of Oz. So it's a prequel.
Have you seen it?
I saw Oz the Great and Powerful in theaters.
Nice. I've never seen it.
I hadn't seen it since, but I didn't dislike it. I was also young. We're talking like 11 years ago. That came out in 2013. I remember.
So you were 2, right?
No, but it was like one of 2 times I went to Regal.
Wow, that is a very memorable tale there.
Yeah.
Not great.
I remember the Iron Man 3 trailer. Anyway, so yeah, I'll be intrigued to see this. I don't know the story of Wicked really. I know it's between the two witch sisters, but I don't know like where it goes. I imagined in my brain it was completely all before the events of the Wizard of Oz, but there's a shot in here of like the main Dorothy, Scarecrow, and everybody are at the face of the wizard in one of the shots. So I was surprised about that. I don't know if we're gonna like cross over events and like just have more development on with Witch of the West Side. I don't know.
Me neither. I always tell this story, but my experience for Wicked, I liked Oz Great and Powerful. It wasn't clear or anything, but it was fun. I hear that sentiment a lot.
That's fun.
But yeah, my experience is always like when I was training to be a teacher, my mentor teacher used to always play the Wicked musical, just the soundtracks. So I got the essence of the story by constantly listening to the Wicked soundtracks. And I love the music. Like, it's very addicting. It's very enticing. Very, very good. The music is fantastic. And I think some people said this online as well. But a lot of the best music is in Act 1. There's 2 acts, which is why they're splitting the movie in 2 parts.
Yeah.
There is a clear like middle part. But a lot of the best music is in this movie coming out this year, while part 2 has like one great end song, and the other ones are more so reprisals from the first act. So I'm very curious to see how they make the second part more interesting in 2025. But a lot of the juicy drama and character stuff happens in the first act. You know, the idea of betrayal and you never acted this way, or like her character, the witch's character journey.
Yeah.
Here. But also this is directed by John M. Chu, who did a great job recently with In the Heights,
which we love.
We love In the Heights. I love In the Heights. I think we did a commentary of In the Heights. Did we?
No.
Are you serious?
What? You did this last time too. I think you were like, I think we did one. I told you we didn't, and you also freaked out there. You see what happened was I made a thumbnail because I was ready for it, and we just never got there.
What did we do? Why did we fuck up that badly? I don't know. I blame Carson.
Why did we fuck up that bad? That was in the days where I was putting Carson in thumbnails as well. I made us graffiti on brick wall.
I remember that thumbnail, which is why I thought we did it. But it's a great movie. You might watch it. But he also did, of course, Crazy Rich Asians, which is one of the biggest movies of recent years. I think they're adapting the book as well. So I think part 1 adaptation of Wicked the musical. When I hear the part 2 is a musical adaptation of the original book. Oh wait, part 1 is an adaptation of Wicked the musical, and I hear part 2 is a musical adaptation of the book. That's interesting. I didn't know there was a book.
Well,
I just know the musical. Oh! I mean, like the whole book.
One of the Wizard of Oz. There's multiple Oz books.
Okay.
So maybe it's books that the story of Wicked was taken from. Maybe it's with the original Wizard of Oz. I don't know. I will be compelled to see though. Yeah, I always love going into musicals. I'd be apprehensive to just listen to the the original Wicked soundtrack. Obviously, I will be after the film because for one, spoilers, and 2, whenever you're listening to Broadway recordings, cast recordings, there's always those weird things because you're not watching the full performances, right? So you'll have one song where it's like, we're going to battle, we're gonna save our friends, we're gonna do it, let's go, and then the next track starts and it's like, he was our friend, he gave his life. They're like, oh no.
that was my experience. I think Idina Menzel might have been the main character this time around for the musical. I think she's like the Green Witch. And man, she belts out some fantastic vocals.
She didn't get frozen for nothing.
Man, Nathan. Man. You're gonna have some great dad jokes when you become a dad.
That wasn't even a joke. I was serious. What was the pun there?
She didn't get frozen for nothing. That's a pun.
How is it a pun? How in context?
She's in Frozen. What do you mean?
She's in Frozen. That's what I said. I didn't say she was cold. In no context of the current story we're talking, is she a cold being?
No, but like she didn't get frozen for that. She didn't like you're cast. Oh, I see. You're saying she didn't get cast in Frozen.
Yes.
Oh.
Also, she's not the one who gets frozen in that movie, mind you. So
true. Okay. We're gonna get technical, but
I'm getting technical. You're calling me out. If I didn't intend the joke,
it sounded like a joke. You should have used the word cast.
Just for that, I'll give you 2 MCU quotes in this pod, and you're not gonna know.
He's gonna say I got time, and that's gonna count or something.
That's
incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Incredibles.
I don't know.
But I got time.
Fuck it.
Oh wait, hold on.
I think MGM made some changes to the book like the red ruby slippers, which are exclusive to the 1939 Wizard of Oz.
This is
Nice.
this is an interesting point. Yeah, when you're adapting a book, this is always an interesting thing. When you're adapting a book, if you can obviously use anything that's within the source material. But if you make an original thing, like the red ruby slippers were not in the original story, they were silver, and they're silver in this trailer as well. I think it was to like make them stand out and pop more because it was also like one of like the earliest uses of Technicolor within film for the Wizard of Oz. But legally in film, if you are adapting a work and you have an original thing created in that work, other adaptations cannot use your original creation. So, like the slippers, they were originally made by MGM. That decision, so every adaptation, even all this great and powerful stuff like that, they don't have ruby slippers.
Interesting.
Which is interesting because they become so iconic with the Wizard of Oz.
Now I'm like, I didn't know about this whole book shit. Should I read the books before Wicked comes out? Maybe I will.
I don't know. Are you gonna read? Are you gonna read? You gonna read all the Chronicles of Narnia before the Greta thing comes out?
Honestly, maybe.
I think it's a lot of books. I think
if that gets a release date, I'll check out the series again. Because that was a fun movie series, and I think when I was a kid, I dived into the first book.
Silverchair? Or are we talking about Wizard of Oz?
No, Narnia now.
I think it's the Silverchair.
But I've been on a book grind recently, where like every week or so I'm constantly reading something. So I'm reading Star Wars right now. When I finish with that in the next couple of weeks, I'll be back on my Percy Jackson grind. But I can slip in some Oz. Anyways, Apes together. Strong. We're back. With Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. The sequel to the trilogy.
So I was watching the Super Bowl. And my uncle is watching with me, and clearly he's not as like inept and like keeping up with stuff. So like when this popped up, he was like, "What?" Which is always fun.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's one of the benefits of going Super Bowl parties, or at least watch parties, stuff like that. Where I used to love, what was that? 2018, the first Avengers movie. Not the first Avengers, but Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the people in the room were like, "Oh shit!" And they're like, "Evan, are you excited for this?" I'm like, "Of course I am." Yeah, like I was always the movie guy at the Super Bowl parties. That was fun. But now that I live alone with just Jalen, it's just me on Twitter.
It was a struggle. It's still a struggle for people who do it. It was a struggle for me back when I was reacting to like every trailer at the time. So you'd want to like experience the Super Bowl, but then something will pop up and you're like, "Shit!" You gotta run out of the room. You gotta go film some shit, and then you also gotta film it during the Super Bowl because you want views.
Exactly. But let's knock out the next trailer here in a package called Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Let's go.
All right. Trailer before trailer.
Are you familiar with the concept of evolution? In their time, humans were capable of many great things. They could fly like eagles fly. They could speak across oceans.
What year do you think it is?
But now it is.
They said it's actually been quite some time since the other movie. I think like 50 to 100 years later.
Wow.
Will learn. Apes will learn. I will learn.
I'm so excited to see like this Proximus character.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this looks so good. The visuals, they're like
says
back and forth here.
Impossible as that may seem.
Why do they hunt her?
She is smarter than most.
The elders
It's
did
compelling,
not tell
man.
us everything about this
Oh
world.
my
They've been
god.
hiding the knowledge from us.
I got something
Follow King.
I'm gonna talk about.
Apes hunt humans.
Dude, this shot, come on.
Woo! I always love it.
Is wrong.
Woo! Oh my god, I'm getting chills.
Ah! Dumb!
Oh my god, yes.
Woo!
We'll die.
No. Together. Strong.
Woo! Together strong.
Wow. Okay. All right. Pause. So, all right. Okay. So, there's a lot. This looks amazing, obviously. So there's some interesting theories in regards to this. So first, an interesting thing is that Proximus, the king that's ruling, is a very compelling character. From what I heard, I think his character name is Proximus Caesar.
Whoa!
But what I believe would be the case of the story is that he's an ape who's like posing as like, I'm a descendant of Caesar, but he's not actually. And I think our main ape here will be. So it would be like a reversal of who's the rightful ruler in the kingdom.
Oh, that's so cool. I like that.
So that's fine. Now, additional thing is, the main woman that we're following in this, Noah, she.
Noah's the guy, right? Isn't Noah the ape?
No, I think it's the woman that's with them.
Oh, I thought Noah was the main character.
No,
Somebody
I think
fact
it is. Sorry, I'm thinking I'm misremembering. Maybe we don't have her name yet. I think we
She
might
doesn't have a name.
but I was going off of the subtitles. I think I miscalculated because she doesn't speak in the trailer, which I think is purposeful because they made a point that she's smarter than most, and she's also wearing a lot better clothing than the actual humans.
She has a shirt. Yes.
Well, yeah, and jeans and shit. I think, Evan, and I wanted this forever. In the first Planet of the Apes movie, there is a setup where there are astronauts who are going into space just at the same time as the whole overtaking of the planet the apes are doing. And in the original Planet of the Apes, the very first one, this is a thing that happens where the astronauts go up and they come back down, but they entered some time dilation shit, and they end up in the future ruled by apes. And they're like, what happened to Earth? It's like, holy shit. But it's not revealed until the end to them that, oh my god, this is Earth. Oh my god. Because the Statue of Liberty in the sand and all that. Now there's also a shot where they're hanging from the cliff. So I saw somebody like brighten the image, and it looks like she's wearing like the bottom half of an astronaut suit. Like the pants,
wow.
So I think she is one, and I think we're tying back that story there, which would be very compelling.
That would be very interesting. I figured she's just a survivor who's been alive over the years, or not over the years, but just like a recent survivor. And then she's just very intelligent. Caleb answered some of our questions here, by the way, in the comment section. Nova is a woman. Noah is the ape. Why are you do that movie? Why are you doing that to us? That's too close. That's too close. And other comments here is that 300 years after war, which makes sense. I think war took place in modern times. So like the movie came out in 2017. You can assume war took place around the mid 2000s, 2015, 2017 timeline.
Sure.
So yeah, we're at 2317, 2320, or something along those lines. We're in the year 2300s. God, I hope they don't do an interspecies romance between Noah. I don't think you got to worry about romance here. But what I'm excited about is the connection about these two characters, the ape, Noah, and the girl, Nova. And I'm excited because I just like that connection that was built in the first movie between Caesar and Harry Osborn. And thank you. Son of a bitch.
Not an MCU technically, but also now it is, isn't it? Thanks, No Way Home.
Curse you, No Way Home. But yeah, I'm excited about that connection. Already, it seems like Noah is I like a good intellectual, introspective protagonist. And he's already setting himself up to be a bit different from Caesar, who is also very smart, very brave. But even from this trailer, I can get a kind of different protagonist. Caesar was always very capable, always very he gets shit done. He's a leader. He gets shit done. This character, Noah, seems to be just I'm going to listen to what this guy Proximus says, but also I don't agree with him. I kind of disagree with him, and he kind of builds his confidence. From what can I assume? It seems like he builds his confidence throughout the film and becomes the kind of person that he's meant to be over the course of a film. He kind of has a classic hero's journey where he goes against authority, he goes against the laws of the land that seem to be more corrupt. And also, I like the theme from this trailer that seems to be extending what we kind of built upon, the themes we built upon in the original trilogy here. Not the original, but the newest trilogy, in terms of coexistence, the idea of how power in whichever hands is kind of corrupt. And Dawn really built on that, where the corrupt nature of human beings versus what Kova, what was his name?
Koba.
I'm like, is that Kovu? That's Lion King 2. But Koba, which is still one of the best characters, villains in movie history for me. Played brilliantly by Dr. Doom himself. I forget the guy's name.
Toby Kebbell.
Toby Kebbell, yeah. I was like, Tobias? Toby Kebbell, thank you.
Somebody pointed an interesting thing visually, and I don't think this is inherent of Descendants, because I don't think you can pass on afflictions, but somebody noticed that Noah has a scar on his chest here, which I think Caesar has a similar scar in the movies, and then Proxima has a scar a bit above his eye, which Koba notoriously has a scar over his eye.
Wow.
So doing visual storytelling parallels, I think that's cool.
That's really cool. And once again, bringing up commentaries, we're definitely going to watch the first 3 recent movies again prior to Kingdom, because again, this trailer really just blew me away.
Now, if this one is a big hit, do you think they make another one?
I hope so. I think so. The director is Wes Ball from the Maze Runner trilogy. He already has a couple projects lined up after this movie. Unfortunately, he is doing the live action adaptation of Legend of Zelda, which people were nervous about, still are. Fair enough. I think that franchise should be animated. But having seen Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, at least the trailer here, and having seen his work on the Maze Runner trilogy, especially that first movie, I think he can nail the visuals that kind of is necessary for Legend of Zelda, and his concept art and his previs work on Mouse Guard, which never aired. I think he has the imagination and creativity to do Legend of Zelda justice on a live action format. I still wish it's animated, but I have faith that it could be solid. But I think after that, if he's not busy, he can do a second Kingdom movie here, Apes movie, or they could just do similar things to what happened with the last trilogy, and you pass the baton to somebody else to continue the franchise, kind of like how. Who did the first one? Was Doug Liman? No, somebody did the first movie, Rise. Or Rupert Wyatt. He did Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and then he passed it on to Matt Reeves, who did Dawn and War. And those movies came out 3 years apart. I think Dawn was 2014.
Yeah, 14 and 17.
17. I think the first one is 2011.
Yeah.
So 3 years apart. Hopefully, we get the same kind of turnaround here, where this one comes out in 2024 and the other one comes out in 2027. I would love a good turnaround. I love this franchise so much. People were nervous about this movie happening. It's not like War came out so recently. War came out in 2017. It's now 2024. It's been a couple of years. It's been 7 years now. So we'll see. Well, from what I understand, the title for the next movie was leaked. Apparently, it's rumored the next film was being pitched as the finale of the reboot series, Apocalypse of the Planet of the Apes. Ooh, wow. That's a dope title. That's
Apocalypse. Fuck. That's what, because I remember from the originals, the fifth and final one in that series was called Battle for the Planet of the Apes, which, you know, when War was coming out, I was like, see,
makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, it's the dopest names, man. The dopest subtitles.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Well, speaking of apes,
speaking of apes together strong, these apes are not together, but they are strong. So here we go.
cool.
But yeah,
here, baby.
I like that Apocalypse tease. I hope. I kind of wish they would do another trilogy instead of just doing another just finale. But I'm open to whatever they give me with the apes. Anyways, Ape Shit continues with with Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire.
Man, I was thinking of dope titles. I remember in the original series they also did a title which was Escape from Planet of the Apes, which was interesting. There's time travel in the original series, if you didn't know. That's compelling. But I think if we're like still working off of like trying to get Nova now, this new character back off world so she can fly back to her time, I think a title like Exodus of Planet of the Apes or something like that would be cool.
That'd be really cool. I agree. Yeah. So here we go. Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire. Your new empire.
For centuries, there was harmony.
I love like each movie builds so much new lore.
The Titans were the guardians of nature, and the great apes became the protectors of humanity.
Cool.
Wasn't Godzilla protectors too?
Yeah. I mean, I agree. This is interesting. So Gia from the first film appears to be having visions.
Yeah, she has powers now? Okay.
I'm here for it.
We've discovered a signal.
So much alien involvement in the original Godzilla movies. There's so many.
She can feel it.
I'm still not a fan of Rebecca Hall's hair here.
Kong.
Yeah.
Godzilla.
They gotta stop doing
They
it.
can feel it too.
So Godzilla's gonna be blue and pink in this.
Yeah, he's gonna go through an evolution.
Talk about a gender reveal.
Thought you'd never ask.
Try not to swallow your tongue.
What?
Who is this guy?
Oh my God!
New guy.
Is that Dan Stevens?
Yeah.
Another one?
Oh my God.
That's not just a signal. That's a call for war.
Where's Skarsgård?
Right. This is cool. I want to see how this kingdom works.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the lore behind this kingdom and how this ape civilization kind of works.
Ooh, woo! God, it look that whip's doing
What
damage.
is that?
So is the
Now, is this another
monster,
creature?
This is what I was telling you about before. You know,
Yeah.
who's shooting ice.
So it's not just the ape.
Right. I think at that point, Shimo probably broke Kong's back.
Oh, true.
That's why you need to.
And that's why like we need Godzilla here. We can't do this alone.
The last time those two met up, it was almost the end of Kong.
Oh, they're fighting again.
Like each other.
That's cool.
They got to fight, and then they're friends again. Probably very early on.
Now I have
Whew.
seen everything.
Is that a tooth?
Maybe.
Are they like Gia's people, or she finds like her people or something?
Yeah, the people
Oh.
probably Skull Island, but now Hollow.
Yeah.
This
That's so
made me
cool.
lose it.
Come on.
Like, what the? Who the fuck writes this? How do you come up with that? That's so cool.
That's amazing.
God. That's so. I was literally like, I wrote it out last night in a tweet. I was like, all right, so the orangutan kaiju with his spine whip breaks off the roof of a skyscraper and throws it at Kong, who obliterates it with a power glove. What a sentence! What a time we live in.
It's insane. It's a crazy mashup of events. For some reason, this film doesn't seem as like epic as Godzilla versus Kong, but I'm still super excited to learn more. Like I said at the beginning of this trailer, there's always interesting lore at the beginning of every new installment of this crazy ass franchise. So I'm excited to see what we kind of figure out here along the way. And the action looks crazy. I can't wait to see my boy Godzilla again. He's always my favorite. Yeah, not much else to say here. We were coming off of peak Godzilla with Godzilla -1, which we adore. And now we're getting back to crazy, goofy, wild Godzilla action, and I can't wait to see that too.
I feel like I want to like show you because we'd had some sort of discussion before of like showing you other Godzilla films.
Yeah.
Nah, I think you definitely get more entertainment kick out of like the second and third series, which have way more impressive effects. But I feel like I have to show you at least like one Showa era original where like this goofy nature really comes from and stems from.
I think so. I'm super open to it. I was so like, am I really going to like the original Godzilla? And I ended up really loving it. And I ended up loving the other Godzilla movies as well. So I'm very open to different types and different genres of the Godzilla franchise. And yeah, again, this one looks like crazy, really weird fun. The main characters, again, we're only really getting Brian Tyree Henry, the main girl, Gia, right? And Rebecca Hall, and then the crazy Dan Stevens character who might not be enjoyable, but whatever. I don't want to like suggest that he's going to be awful, but like he seems like a point A to point B guy.
And I don't know if this was like revealed in like the Empire article or anything, but there's word going around that in terms of characterization, Godzilla in this film, like for the first time of this Godzilla, is going to be scared, like of the opposing threats that he's facing, but still having the courage to charge into battle. But like the trepidation of Godzilla would be an interesting thing to potentially explore, because they've said a lot in lead ups that there's going to be, as much as we're seeing human characters, there's going to be like extensive scenes of monsters just existing, like sometimes like a fucking 8-minute scene and it's just the monsters and they're doing stuff and you're just getting the silent performance of them, but you're getting it.
That sounds cool. I'm really open to that. Like, give us some more characterization for our beloved monsters. I'm always down for that. But okay, let's move on. Marvel Animation's X-Men 97, the continuation of the 90s X-Men TV show. It's been a hot minute. It's been over 20 years. So let's see where they're at these days.
Watch the series finale of X-Men next Saturday morning. Check your local listings.
I'm
Very
grateful
cool.
to have the chance to say goodbye. I am proud of you all.
Because, yeah, he kind of, as they say here, at the show here, he dies at the end of the original series, in a way.
Wow.
Now, this is X-Men post Professor X with a different type of animation.
But I'm impressed how they've achieved it.
The professor entrusted us with
Yeah,
his dream.
like you can tell it's unique and not unique. You can tell it's a kind of updated.
No matter how dark it is,
The voice of Cyclops here feels very like a 90s actor.
It really does. I like it. I wonder if they got the same voice actors back. I actually didn't look that
by
up.
working together as a team.
Jeez, Bob, keep buzzing in my ear.
This March, which is a quick release, is coming out very soon, next month. Jubilee, who is the main character.
Yeah, it was very visually stunning.
Cyclops, Jean Grey, Rogue. I'm excited. Get the whole squad back.
Whew.
To me, my X-Men.
Oh, it's cool.
That's lit.
Under new Marvel Animation branch.
Magneto, the last will and testament of Charles Xavier. Everything he built now belongs to me.
That's kind of a wait. What? Get out of our professor's chair! How dare you stand where he stood?
Right.
They did, except for Jubilee. The original actress stepped away, so an actual Asian actress could voice the character. That's good.
Oh.
So yeah, they got everybody back. That's awesome. Thank you, Caleb. I remember I watched this show a lot growing up, but if you could ask me what happens in every episode, couldn't tell you. So it's going to be fun going back and revisiting a couple episodes, probably the finale here and there before the show airs. But I'm definitely going to watch the show. I love the X-Men. One of those pinnacle shows for me growing up because I love X-Men so much. The X-Men were pivotal to my childhood. I love the live-action movies, but I've watched nearly every X-Men show. Like X-Men, the 90s X-Men was, of course, something I'd always go home and watch after school. Not in the 90s. It's still played in the 2000s. I'm not that old. But I grew up loving X-Men Evolution more so. That was more of my X-Men jam, X-Men Evolution, where they're playing as kind of like teenagers. Like I watched every single episode of X-Men Evolution easily more than once. So that was my show. And then Wolverine and the X-Men, I watched all of that more than once. That was on Nickelodeon. That was my jam. I wish it didn't get canceled, but yeah, it got canceled. So yeah, Wolverine and the X-Men, X-Men Evolution, 90s X-Men. Those were like the main staple X-Men stuff. And then I love the comics as well.
Yeah, I hadn't really watched the show really. Most experience I really got with this crew of X-Men was when they crossed over in a couple episodes of Spider-Man animated series back in the 90s, which is still my favorite. I am gearing up to start Spectacular. I know I'm gonna enjoy the hell out of that.
Okay.
I'll start right now, motherfucker. Hang it up.
Turn it on now.
We'll do it live. But that's always been interesting too. Is Marvel's original MCU, if you will, really was that those animated series, because they also had Iron Man, Hulk, and Fantastic Four. I think even Silver Surfer had a show, and they were all within the same universe here with X-Men, which is really cool. There was also a thing I just want to say real quick that Easter egg in this trailer was one of the newspapers that fly by says the article was a story by Eddie Brock and photos by Peter Parker, which is cool.
Oh wow!
But that is interesting because when I watched the show, Eddie Brock is like lost in like another dimension.
Oh wow!
So I'd be intrigued to see if they play with like any connectivity there, and like timeline wise. And hopefully this has a good success, and hopefully it can finally give me closure to greenlight one more season of Spider-Man so we can find Mary Jane.
That would be the best case scenario. That would be amazing. Hopefully Feige is enough of a fan to make that happen too. Because I know he loves this show, X-Men 97. I do believe they recast some of the characters with actors of the appropriate ethnicity or race. The original voice actors were replaced with, however, voiced new characters. That's awesome. That's great news.
That's cool.
So everybody gets to have some fun in a rebirth for this show. And by the looks of the trailer, it's a clean reboot, not reboot, but like it's a clean return to form for the show. It's not like you have to watch every episode of the 90s X-Men to understand what the hell is happening here. Not really. Professor X dies, and this is a new chapter for the main characters. So if you haven't seen the 90s X-Men, or at least every episode, you're not going to be too confused. Just like this is just going to be with Cyclops leading the gang, new cast or same cast doing different hijinks, and it's just a different chapter for them. Yeah. That's what I got from the trailer, because I was kind of nervous. I'm like, I know people who watch the show are going to be excited, and I watched the show too, but it's been over 20 years. I can't tell you what happened last time I saw it. So hopefully it's a clean enough rebirth that we don't have to like know anything going in.
You know what I did remember? I remember there was a clip going around on Twitter which was hilarious from the original show, which was I think it was Gene. Gene and Gambit were butting heads over cooking because they didn't want Gambit to like use any of his fucking flavorful spices for whatever reason. And Gambit was calling him out with this bland white food. It was funny.
That's hilarious. Yeah, you got spice your food up. I really hope Spider-Man 98 sometime in the next few years, maybe when the Friendly Neighborhood series show ends.
Yeah, I'll be intrigued to see how that goes too.
What's Friendly Neighborhood?
That's the Spider-Man freshman year show. It got renamed. That 2D show, which I unfortunately heard reports that it's not actually looking comic book 2D like that anymore, which is a bummer. But
oh no.
Listen, I'll just if it looks as good as what they're giving me for 97, like I'm down.
Yeah, that's true. One last trailer. Deadpool and Wolverine. Will we see Wolverine? Let's see. Here we go.
Happy birthday to you.
All right, okay. It's been a challenging few years, for sure, but I'm happy.
I love a good meta trailer. And one thing you're going to get from Deadpool,
luckiest man alive.
meta humor.
Make a wish, buddy.
It's Mobius.
Wait, Wilson?
Huh.
Who's asking?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Is that supposed to be scary?
I wonder how many
Nothing isn't new
people
for me, friendo,
understand
but it is
who
for
those
Disney.
characters are, the TVA.
Look, he's fairly successful.
Fairly successful. Fairly.
Mr. Wilson.
The GOAT! The GOAT!
While unconscious.
I wasn't unconscious.
He's British!
And actually having him use his actual accent, which is fun.
Walk with me.
They're like, you don't have to play as Tom.
Wait. You are special. This is your chance to be a
We're gonna meet
hero
Loki.
among heroes.
I don't know what the hell they're gonna do in this movie.
I smell what you're stepping
I
in,
want to say
Sensei.
no way in hell is he gonna see
Your little
Loki, but
cinematic
you never
universe
know.
is about to change forever. I'm the Messiah.
Is that Wolverine?
I am Marvel Jesus.
Love a suit up. Great action.
Great action already. Good Deadpool action.
God, I love this part. Wait!
It's Professor X. He's standing now.
Happened before.
Don't just stand there, you ape. Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much.
That's great.
Coming out in July.
It is
Strong
an interesting, strong trailer. It is an interesting choice not to have Hugh's face at all because I think they'll definitely put that in a second trailer. To drive
Yeah,
that hype.
I was really shocked, but happy, pleasantly surprised that he wasn't fully in the movie.
Yeah, I'll say I'm the less we see of their interactions, the better, because that's going to be the pinnacle of the film, I think.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool. I mean, he's half the title, Deadpool and Wolverine. They only put him in half of it. So that's really cool. They're really selling us on Deadpool is back in the MCU. It's rated R, it's bloody as hell. You guys saw that car scene, and they're really like how to fit him in the MCU so well by having this whole multiversal element with the TVA. That's a really cool connection. I like. It makes a lot of sense, especially given the end of Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
It looks chaotic. It looks crazy. Not enough too much substance in here, but a lot of cool and fun Easter eggs.
There's interesting things I could break down.
Yeah, there is. I mean, yeah. You want to break it down? Some of the stuff. Break down some of the stuff here.
Yeah, I like to do that. Well, firstly, there's interesting appearances. The one dude who he was like, God, I love this part. That's Pyro from the original X-Men trilogy. He's in X-Men 2 and 3. Yeah, that guy. That's Pyro. Same actor, just more grown. He's back. You're muted.
I was freaking out over Pyro.
Of course you were. Yeah, so we know there's going to be many appearances in this flick. For that very reason, we are looking to be watching the Foxverse coming up.
Forgot we're doing that. Yeah, we are. We definitely are.
Can't take it back. No take backs. But,
Yeah, we got to finish up Kung Fu Panda. We're going to do Apes, and then I think we jump right into Fox. Yeah.
Yeah, which will be fun. We'll be doing the X-Men films, a couple of Fantastic Fours, or 3,
Sure.
and Daredevil.
Yeah.
Maybe Elektra.
I've never seen Elektra, so that'd be
Me
fun.
So that's cool to see that connectivity there. Due to the fact that Brian Cox played William Stryker in X2, I think 100% guaranteed a Succession joke in this film.
Maybe. I mean, yeah. I mean, Deadpool is Deadpool, so we can really call out Paradox, who is the character he's playing there. We can, hey, aren't you from Succession? Like, that'd be fun.
Yeah, this dude here was interesting. I think people are saying this might be, this looks to be a real guy, but a lot of people were like having the similar visuals of like a Doombot, part of Doctor Doom's army. Maybe, I don't know. You never know. I mean, clearly they seem to be in a wasteland of the where everything gets pruned, I think.
Yeah, we kind of saw this behind the scenes with the Fox logo, but the 20th Century logo behind him right here.
This smoke creature very well could be Eliath from Loki.
Looks like it, yeah.
There is a behind the head shot of Wolverine in like a casino setting. It looks like he was wearing a white jacket, which
people think it's not Wolverine, right?
It could not. It might not be Hugh, because I think there is an element in the story I heard where Deadpool's going to be looking for the quote unquote the best Wolverine, and just nobody's comparing to Hugh, so he's going to be pestering the fuck out of him. So that might not be him in that scene, although it does remind me of a Wolverine look where he has, you know, the eye patch Wolverine look in the white jacket. Yeah, that one.
There it is. Oh, by the way, this is people are saying that's Cassandra Nova right here. Right here.
Right. I think I'm getting it correctly. That they're adapting a storyline of Charles has an evil twin in the comics. It was a brother originally. They might be making a sister here. So possibility there would be interesting.
I'm pretty sure it was a sister in the comics. In the is this the same character where they were in the womb and she nearly killed him from inside of the womb?
Yes.
Am I making that up? I'm pretty sure that's the character.
that is the storyline. I think my brain was going off of there's an element of a twin brother for Charles in the actual X-Men series, because if we remember, Charles explodes in X-Men 3, but he comes back to life in the post credits because his brother was in a coma.
Yeah.
Fun.
Dumb. So yeah, Cassandra Nova, played by a very famous actress. I forget her name, but yeah, this is the Wolverine they were talking about here in the white suit.
That's a fun thing. I didn't know about this. So Hydra Bob is a friend of Deadpool's in the comics who is he's a Hydra agent, but he's kind of, I think he's like bumbling. And they had a reference to him in the first Deadpool movie, but because they didn't have the rights, they couldn't call him a Hydra agent. But I guess they bring him back as one in this, which that's cool. I think the same actor he's saying, so that's cool.
That's really awesome. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. The
last shot where Deadpool's on the ground on the far left. Yeah, a little earlier in the shot. There you go. Yeah, on the far
Secret
left there.
Wars.
Secret Wars comic. That's fun. You didn't have to
Um,
undercut me.
that's coming up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Secret
But
Wars,
yeah, whatever. Secret Wars. He's gonna be in Secret Wars 100%. So is Wolverine. But do you think, one final question for you, do you think we see our first look at the new MCU Wolverine in this movie? Probably not, though. But what do you think?
I don't know. I feel like we'll probably get a fun montage of multiversal Wolverines. They might do a John Krasinski, Reed Richards thing where you have like fan cast people who were fan cast as Wolverine pop up here and there, like an example. But you know what I mean. I think Taron Egerton was a fan cast for a while. That'd be fun because he's also good friends with Hugh in 20th Century Fox. So that's a possibility. That would be fun. But ultimately, no, I don't think until after the events of Secret Wars will we get any sort of structure for the future of the X-Men, because I know there was also a strong rumor that in Secret Wars, Hugh and Toby are supposed to have prominent roles as like leaders of certain factions of TVA.
Don't do that to me.
Why do you toss up your hands like they can't make it work? Like they can't.
I don't want characters from 40 years ago being leaders.
You knew what this movie was.
Yes, have fun being cameos in the movie. Don't lead.
Well, if they make them
actual
roles, what's wrong with that?
I want new characters having new actual roles.
They'll be there too.
You should be more prominent than a Shang-Chi, for example. Right.
Sort of be balanced, and Shang-Chi sticking around afterwards for sure.
True. It's been too long though. Been too long. I wonder if they'll bring Legion into this, because that was an incredible show, and I would love for Dan Stevens to reprise his role as Xavier's son. It's always possible with this movie. Anything's possible with this movie. I liked Legion the first season, Caleb. I cannot stand the second season. I'm sorry. The second season really made me upset.
That's third season?
There's a third season?
I'm pretty sure.
There's 3 seasons. They made it 3 seasons?
Before getting the boot, I think so.
I watched the first season. I think I watched half of the second season. I don't think I watched the third season. I couldn't tell you what happened.
Stranger things have happened though, man. Like
great show.
Yes. I would have never expected to see fucking Black Bolt from The Inhumans, same actor and everything, in Multiverse of Madness, but lo and fucking behold.
Yeah.
If that's possible, anything's possible. We're again, a show that was canceled after its 2 episodes premiered. They didn't let it finish. Already canceled. There he is.
Caleb said I would love if David Hasselhoff reprises his role as Nick Fury Sr. because 20th Century Fox made that movie.
I could see it. He's already cameoed in Guardians 2. Totally, he'd be down.
Was there a Nick Fury movie, a just singular Nick Fury movie?
There was.
Or was he in it? Was he in a movie? Okay.
It might have been Nick Fury in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, what a time, Marvel. Right. Gotta love it. Okay, let's breeze through some movie news because this was a blast and a half. One of the things I want to talk about here is that last week they announced Jurassic World is coming back, and we talked about it. We talked about how like it's a very quick pace. David Leitch is coming back. I think a day after our episode aired, they announced that David Leitch is not on board. They had creative differences. It wasn't really a thing.
The weird ass quote was something along the lines of like, "We just need someone who's available to shoot. We don't have time for creatives or creative choices."
Yeah,
they can't diverge from the story they want to tell. I guess they just need to get the product out fast.
And if they couldn't agree with a universal yes man like David Leitch, who signed on for so many franchises, Deadpool, Fast and the Furious, he's doing some of his original stuff with like Fall Guy or whatever. But like David Leitch is a part of so many action adventure projects. Like he usually is like the universe. When I say Universal, I mean like the actual studio Universal uses this guy a lot. And if they couldn't get him to be on board because of creative differences, that's a problem. And especially like what you said, there's a quote going around saying like they really want to get somebody who just like fits the bill, does the story, and doesn't get too creative. Something along those lines. I forget the exact phrasing there. But it's not great. It's not a great look for Universal. And it's just weird how they just want to jumpstart this movie so fast. We have no cast, no confirmed cast, not even a rumored cast, not even a rumored director. And they want it to come out next summer in July, competing against Superman Legacy coming out. It would come out a week or 2 weeks before Superman Legacy, I think. Which already, we've covered extensively the Superman Legacy cast, which is beginning to film in March, I think, Superman Legacy. And then Fantastic Four, which we'll get to in a minute, that's also coming out next July as well. And we already have that cast. We already have that director. Both of those movies coming out next July. They haven't started filming yet, but they have all the case of like a classic. It can make its time by next summer for sure.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Jurassic World, on the other hand, doesn't have a title, no director, no cast, just Universal wants another Dino movie. It's wild to me. I'm like, just take your time. What's the rush? Why next July? This is sure, do another one. We don't give a fuck. But take your time with it at least. Like, what the hell? What's the rush? I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. It's really wild to me. So that's that. David Leitch is out. Did you have any director in mind you think would be a good fit for this franchise?
Sam Raimi.
Oh.
I literally was thinking about that. I think I made a tweet about it too. I was just like, man, if you imagine the fucking Raimi cam, like how he zooms through the woods in Evil Dead, but it was the point of view of a raptor hunting someone down, like, I'll give you all the money, man.
That would be dope. That'd be amazing. I would love that.
The creepy atmosphere would be tenfold, which I think would be much needed to ingest some life into this franchise. Just take it back to the horror elements, because there was a strong horror elements from the first Jurassic Park.
The first Jurassic Park, the second one, and the third one. Like the first three had some big horror elements. Even this, remember the second opening where the girl nearly dies? You think she did die? It's horrifying. So yeah, let's talk about, speaking of new and fresh, Fantastic Four cast. It's official. Finally, the rumored cast that's been rumored for quite some time is now officially been unveiled.
So that news broke about like 12 o'clock yesterday.
Yeah.
I was asleep. I was getting some Z's before my shift, my closing shift, which was funny because I woke up briefly around 12ish, didn't check my phone, didn't look, slept through this news. But and then I woke up, I was like, holy shit. Fantastic Four, holy shit. With the 60s era stylings or 70s. It's a beautiful piece of artwork. I love it a lot. It's confirmed the cast we've known for a while. But I will say, I love this cast. I really do.
I couldn't agree more, man. I'm about to share the screen here.
Nice.
I really like this cast as well. People are still hating on Pedro Pascal, and I gotta say, shut the fuck up. Now, granted, you can have your opinion. I understand people being nervous about casting. That's okay. That makes sense. We haven't seen the character in the movie yet. Not every casting is going to be to everybody's cup of tea. I understand being like, okay, he doesn't fit the bill for me. But don't say he. I have people say he can't. He can't be Reed Richards. What? Why not? It's Pedro Pascal, one of the best actors of our generation. Just plain old, he hasn't delivered a bad performance. Name me one bad Pedro Pascal performance. People be like, well, Wonder Woman 1984, not a great movie. He was the best part of that movie. Like what are we talking about? He's played a lot of different kinds of characters, and I see this a lot too, where people are like, "Well, he can't play the character that is asked for a Mr. Fantastic." We haven't seen the movie yet. What kind of Mr. Fantastic are we going to get here?
And that's acting, right? It's the capability of doing such a thing, and he has such a vast range. We've seen him be the super funny man. We've seen him be a closed off person like in Mandalorian, and I mean just going from like Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, right, where he is a very almost kooky, very hilarious person, and then Joel Miller in Last of Us. The range is very much here tenfold. He can do this. They need him to play the most brilliant mind of the Marvel universe. He can absolutely do that. I absolutely 100% believe that, and I think he can also play up the family persona as well. With a big strong factor of the Fantastic Four.
I agree. A lot of his roles require him to be like very close to his family. Game of Thrones, Joel, right? Like he's a very big family person in a lot of his movies, even Wonder Woman 1984. So yeah, I'm very confident in whatever portrayal they want to do with Mr. Fantastic. I think he's gonna be really cool. It's going to be weird to envision him with the stretchy powers. That's going to be kind of hard to envision. But I think it's Marvel. I think they haven't done a bad job with casting ever, I think. So they're great.
I deadass saw a reply to the casting where someone was like, Rita's supposed to be a stretchy individual. Pedro's face is too square. Like, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
People will say fucking anything. And Evan, let me say, I am seeing this tenfold for Joseph Quinn, which has been which is
wild to me, right?
It's wild. It's annoying. There is no basis. Either they'll just be like, "Oh, you can't act." Won't give an example. Because at best they'll just be like, "You sucked in Stranger Things." He's great in Stranger Things. He made everybody fucking cry. Everybody loves his character so much that they were like, "Hey, can you bring him back? We love him."
He's excellent in Stranger Things. Yeah,
deadass. Just seeing people being like, "He's not hot enough. He's supposed to be a traditional like
which
embodiment of attractiveness. That's who Johnny is." And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Number one.
What are you talking about?
And number two, this man is very attractive.
Yeah, he's a very good looking dude. And you're right. People, again, they grew up on the early 2000s Fantastic Four movies, and they can't shake it out of their minds. I'm like, guys, it is the peak of nostalgia, those movies.
A tweet was like 75,000 likes. Had shirtless photos of Chris Evans and Michael B. Jordan and said, "Goodbye, hot Johnny Storm." As if this man won't get the Marvel workout routine.
Exactly. And like, Johnny doesn't need to be the pinnacle of hotness, right? Like I think he's supposed to be an attractive young dude, but it's like none of these people have read the comic books. I hate being that guy. I hate being that you didn't read the comic, no. But still, it's just like you're using two movies to compare like what this character should be. Like they have their own unique interpretations of what Johnny Storm could be. This is a new one. This is a different one. You haven't even seen the movie yet. And again, Joseph Quinn isn't acting. Yeah, I think Film Updates posted like Joseph Quinn, and this is all like he's going to be a terrible actor. Like from what experience? From what?
From what we're hearing, he's done phenomenal performance in A Quiet Place, and I think he just got added to Ridley Scott's Gladiator 2.
Yep, he's in Gladiator Part 2. I heard he's really good in that. I heard he's good in A Quiet Place. Like, come on, people are going to be so salty when they see this movie.
And even going with like the look ideals. So I did notice the magazine that Ben's reading, even though it's kind of hard to make out. When I zoomed in, it looked like the tag said 1979, so that might be placing the era we're doing.
63.
It says 63.
Yeah, because that's the Lyndon B. Johnson photo.
Okay.
Yeah.
I figured it was, it's kind of hard to make out. But okay. Yeah, okay, cool. So even if you go off of like the look argument. This man in the 60s setting, absolutely killer.
I totally agree. Yeah, people are forgetting that 60s aesthetic as well.
Driving around a hot rod, like, yeah.
I think he totally fits the bill. It's crazy to me how people are going to be nitpicking this and saying like, oh, the OG Fantastic Four it's never going to be the same again. Stop acting like those movies are masterpieces. And that Chris Evans is like the best actor in the world. Like where people were saying Chris Evans was such a great actor in 2004 because of his role in Fantastic Four. Like, granted, I think Chris Evans is a good actor, but it's like I wasn't going to use Fantastic Four as an example of how great of an actor he is. He's good as Johnny Storm for what those movies want. But this is a different movie. This is a different actor, and you gotta understand that people aren't. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's odd. Yeah. Also, you don't even like. There's been so many publications of Fantastic Four throughout the years. Obviously, they hail from the very 60s themselves, Marvel's first family. They'll probably be diving into a lot of classic Jack Kirby era 60s comics for the vibe of Fantastic Four. Wouldn't be surprised about that. You think Chris Evans screams that? Fucking no. But
exactly.
I still loved him in the role. I love everybody in the Tim Story Fantastic Four castings, but I think. Even with going into the 2015 Fantastic Four, where we feel those are all great actors they got.
Movie is terrible. Exactly.
Yes, but still,
the
not
great
to follow
actors.
the cast.
Exactly. The acting. We always say the cast was great. And so you got to understand people just they're not giving it a chance or understanding the concept behind this. But the two main people that people aren't really questioning here, Vanessa Kirby, who's been excellent in everything. She's in Mission Impossible, she's in the Fast and Furious franchise as well. She's in The Crown. She's in a number of indie movies. Vanessa Kirby is just one of the best actresses we have working today. Oh, Napoleon last year. I adore her. I think she's fantastic. A perfect casting for Sue Storm. She was rumored to be cast early on. And if people forget, they cast her early on because they want her to be the focus. If I remember correctly, that was one of the early rumors. They want Sue to be a bit of a focus more so than Mr. Fantastic. I wonder if that rumor is going to stick. And if it does, I think she's going to be a great main character.
Absolutely. Just in thinking of like how much like how entertaining Vanessa Kirby is already, but in terms of like in a fun action comedy setting, her scene where in Dead Reckoning where she has to play Haley Atwell posing as Vanessa Kirby is just so amazing. Being able to captivate that, she's so on point. She's wonderful.
She has such great range, and she's like you said, like she has so much fun with every role that she's doing. Dead Reckoning is great. I was watching some clips over the weekend because I'm obsessed with Dead Reckoning.
Jumping at the end of the second act, were you?
Yeah, definitely. And it was great. Anyways, and then Eben Moss-Bachrach from The Bear.
This might be
is now playing the thing.
That might be the best casting out of all this, bar none.
Probably. I think Vanessa Kirby as Sue is perfect. But yeah,
absolutely. I love everybody here, but I just think this one was just like, yeah. And it's like one of those things where like after you, because we had the rumors going around, it was like one of those things where like after you set the name, I can't think of another person. I really can't plug anything in. He's just, that sounds so perfect. I love also the imagery here where you have his human form as his past astronaut life.
Yeah, that's really cool. I didn't really realize that until I was like, is that Buzz Aldrin? No, that's actually Eben Moss-Bachrach.
And here Buzz Aldrin sits at the dinner table.
You never know, 1960s. But yeah, that's really cool. I think Eben's going to play, we've seen him play the Bear. He was Micro in Punisher. But especially in the Bear, he can show off that kind of like gruff, crazy exterior, but have like a heart of gold. Not even a heart of gold, but just also like just so much depth. Like Eben is such a good playing like one of those kinds of characters. It fits the bill for the Thing so much, and I can't wait to see his chemistry with Joseph. Like the Thing and Johnny Storm have like such a fun dynamic, and I hopefully Eben and Joseph can get that like younger, older brother sibling dynamic on point here within the group.
I also I love the looks of everybody here. The suits are interesting. They feel very like sweatery.
They feel cozy.
Yeah, but also like it seems like that's actual like integration of like tech within it. But it still feels like fabric, which is really cool. Ben's look as well. The thing it just looks very one for one the comics. Like to the point of even like the big wide eyebrows and everything. So I'll be intrigued to see how they adapt that into live action. I know they're probably going to go the motion capture route for it, as they usually do. It was very impressive what they were able to do in the Tim Story films with the practical suit. But it would be definitely intriguing to see how they adapt this movie forward, because they've done it with Hulk for a while. And Hulk, I don't really ever think looks terrible. I think they really got him on lock.
Yeah, they've kind of perfected the mocap within the MCU for the most part.
But then they also have Herbie, their robot sidekick here, who helps around the Baxter building. I'll be intrigued to see who they cast for that role. That'd be cool.
I think I've seen some people really want like Mansukis. What's his name? I forget the comedian's name. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people really want a certain person to play Herbie. But yeah, I'm excited. That's a very fun. That's an easy way to distinguish themselves with this adaptation. Correct me if I'm wrong. Herbie was introduced in the TV show before the comics, right? Kind of like Harley Quinn.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not sure.
I think I remember like, he's one of those characters who was introduced in the TV show in the like 80s or whatever the animated show came out. And then they put him in the comics, or they put it in the comics after the fact, because it fits so well.
But yeah, it'll be interesting seeing this adaptation. I know, circa Deadpool 3, they're going to have a rendition of the Fantastic car that they have, their flying car. So I think Marvel's obviously going to go all out with everything Fantastic Four. So just see all these different creations that Reed builds and stuff just being in full force, I think is going to be really fun. Also, talking about the fact that it's going to be in the 60s era, Matt Shakman, we know, does very well in that setting with what he worked on with WandaVision.
Yeah.
So it would be just really interesting just to see the whole vibe and conflict. Because are we going, per the rumors, that maybe if Galactus is the villain, he's the villain circa the 60s, like coming out?
I don't know. It's so weird. So yeah, he could be the villain from the 60s, and then they make their way to the present. I wonder how much of the present we're going to see in this movie. Is going to be all 1960s, and then they're going to pull a First Avenger on us and post-credit us for the present. Or I've seen one wild rumor where they're saying maybe they start out in the present and then they get trapped in 1960 by going back in time. I don't think that's true, but that could be another fun route they could take. I think most people are thinking, though, they start in the 60s and then they get trapped and then they make their way to the present.
Yeah, it's probably just going to be they'll pick up on the threat of Galactus. They'll probably, before he gets to Earth, take the fight to him, stop him within space, but throughout that, get thrown in some sort of time wormhole, and boom, they're in the present day. But it will be interesting seeing the kickoff of their origins going on, that infamous space mission that gets them their powers.
Yeah, and I wonder how that works with a character like Doctor Doom as well. Like, does Doctor Doom not exist in the 60s, but he does exist in the present? And that's like, how is that rivalry going to cultivate if they get trapped in the 60s? Like, is he also going to get trapped in time? Are they going to cast him at all in this movie? Are they going to keep him a secret for the sequel or for Secret Wars?
Because that would be a 60-year difference.
Yeah.
maybe there could be a set rivalry between Reed and Doom's father, maybe, and then he grows with resentment. I don't know. Maybe some.
I would love
their family. I don't know.
That'd be a very interesting turn and interesting take on their classic Doom versus Richards dynamic, where Richards defeats, not defeats, but just like kind of humiliates, I don't know, Doom's father, and then years pass and Doom's son or grandchild is the new antagonist in the present. He's like, I hate you because of what you did to my family. And that's kind of how it kind of starts there. That could be, I had never thought of that, Nathan. That'd be a very fun and interesting take if he doesn't also get stuck in time.
A bit of a Superman Lex Luthor dynamic in that case.
How so?
Just in like the eyes of like imagine, say, Doom is able to build up whatever brand he's functioning on in the world, and he's very helpful, and it's great, and we overcame despite past things, and then lo and behold, the Fantastic Four show up, and it's Reed Richards, and he's the face of them, and he's saving the day, and the whole public loves them now, and shit like that. You never know.
I get you. Yeah. So yeah, that'd be fun because again, I'm a huge Doctor Doom fan, so I really can't wait to see what they do with that character. So that's Fantastic Four. Other news here, we have a new Predator movie coming out. Movies, plural.
Yeah.
This is one of the best news I saw last week. I was super excited. Dan Trachtenberg, who did Prey, is returning for a new installment. Now, the first one is not a sequel to Prey. This one is called Badlands, and it is set in 1719 and centered on a young Comanche woman forced to fight for survival against intergalactic hunters. But this is a new story. It's not a sequel to Prey. But again, set in 1719. Plot details are being kept secret, but this one is said to be sometime in the future. And I guess in the future of the Prey world. Anyways, and like Prey would have a female lead. But also they're saying that is having a July start of production start date. But also the surprise success of Prey made it so that they were making another Prey movie as well.
Nice.
So they are doing a sequel to Prey as well, with Dan Trachtenberg returning. So they are doing a new Predator movie as well as a new Prey movie with Amber Midthunder, which is just amazing. I couldn't be more happy with that. So again, a Badlands movie and then another movie with the Prey sequel, a direct Prey sequel.
That's wonderful. I love this news. I wasn't really sure. I wasn't really sure what the future of the Predator series held, but the fact that we're going all out, it seems, with multiple projects is wonderful. Somebody said the studio finally cracked the code that you could just drop the Predator in any time whatsoever and it works.
Exactly, and that's exactly what we're seemingly getting here.
And now we're all that closer to my either Predators versus Pirates movie or Predator versus Shoguns, which is also coming up.
Yeah, that's gonna be exciting. Yeah, and now I'm seeing other people say it's just the okay. I'm so confused. So I'm seeing other people say it's just the Badlands movie and not a Prey 2 also, but Prey 2 is.
I was seeing Prey. I saw
Prey. Me too. I saw Prey 2 get announced as well. I saw two movies getting.
I watched it happen. I saw it happen. Don't tell me it didn't happen.
If Prey 2 isn't happening, it's happening. But I believe I saw the article that I just read talked about how there's going to be a Prey movie happening as well, a Prey sequel happening. But either way, the Badlands movie is happening first, and that's with the new character, slightly new time period, and plot details are under wraps, but it's centering on a female lead again.
Nice.
I'm just shooting out there. I know Isabella Merced is busy with Last of Us Part 2 now, but I would love for her to be a lead. I think she's a fantastic actress. Caitlin Dever, also in Last of Us, would be amazing. But Amber Midthunder was a surprise casting for Prey, but she was amazing. So we'll see her in Avatar, by the way. The Last Airbender. She plays the princess, the Ice Princess.
Let's see Anya Taylor-Joy fight a Predator.
Yeah, see Anya Taylor-Joy. How many great actresses are busy these days? Other movie news: Tom Cruise.
Hey,
not in an action movie, but starring in Tarantino's last film titled The Movie Critic, which I think already has Brad Pitt on board as to be like the main character, but
I think so.
I assume Tom Cruise isn't going to be the main character, or even like the Leonardo DiCaprio character if you're comparing this to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But I think he's going to have a cameo of sorts or a small role. Either way, it's Tom Cruise working with Quentin Tarantino on what is seemingly his last movie, Tarantino's last movie.
Yeah,
that's just all I need to hear. That could be amazing. I cannot wait.
The king of I love movies paired with the director who's also I love movies.
Great point, Nathan. Great point. Tom Cruise is a huge movie buff, understands cinema so well, and Tarantino is like a walking textbook encyclopedia of film history. So I think those two finally pairing up on what could be his last role will be amazing. People are always like, what's taking Tom Cruise so long to get his Oscar? If Tom Cruise has a decently sized supporting actor role here, man, that would be a great Oscar campaign. The industry loves Tom Cruise, so if he has any kind of decent role here, remember you saw The Fabelmans, right? Steven Spielberg's The Fabelmans.
Yeah.
Who was the guy that got nominated for having like one line? He's like, "You should believe in cinema." He's like, he played his uncle character.
Yeah. What the fuck?
What was? I forget his name.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Famous actor. But like Tom Cruise could be in the movie for like 5 minutes. He could get Oscar nominated, just like what happened in Fabelmans. Like,
sure, but probably not a win.
Probably not a win. But you never know. It's Tom Cruise.
Has Tom's been nominated before, hasn't he?
Yes.
Because he's done quite a bit of dramatic roles in circa the 90s and such.
Was he nominated for Magnolia, or a few good men?
Few Good Men.
Tom Cruise.
Rain Man, even no
Oscar nominations. Supporting, Magnolia. Supporting actor for Magnolia. Best actor for Jerry Maguire. Best actor for Born on the 4th of July.
Oh yeah.
So which I have not seen Born on the 4th of July, but Jerry Maguire, best actor. Magnolia, best supporting actor. Best picture, producer on Top Gun Maverick. And so that'd be amazing. That would just be amazing. I love Tarantino movies. I've seen every Tarantino movie. I think I have not seen Jackie Brown. It might be the only Tarantino movie I have not seen. His very first one.
I think
otherwise,
half.
You're missing half. Otherwise, I think I've seen all of them. Which ones are you missing? Do you think?
I haven't seen Jackie Brown. I have not seen
Reservoir Dogs. Have you seen that one?
I haven't seen Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs is great.
I haven't seen Inglourious Bastards.
You got to,
I know. Everyone says that about all his films. And I agree. I agree. I want to watch them. The cast are always stacked. And I haven't really seen Django Unchained.
Yeah, that's another great one. I love that movie. That's about it there. Another one, Conjuring 4, seemingly going to be the last Conjuring movie in the franchise.
Now I know that the real life Warrens aren't the best, but
are they not good people?
I think they're kind of. I think someone compared them to grifters. They're kind of like like they're paranormal investigators, but kind of like playing up shit. Maybe they did some other stuff. I don't know. I haven't really deep dived.
Yikes!
But all that said, clearly what they are doing in the films is like they're based on people, but like they're making it their own with the romanticism between Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, who have wonderful chemistry. Of just you really believe these souls just really love each other and lean on one another.
Exactly. Like the franchise is underrated as like a romance horror franchise. What's up, Zion? It's a really much a romance horror, especially Conjuring 2. They really kind of nailed their dynamic and their chemistry in that one in particular. Even though I prefer Conjuring 1 just a tad. They're both two great movies. Conjuring 3 is fine.
Even 3, which doesn't like super hold it at the forefront, had such a wonderful ending between them.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm excited. But right now they said the original screenwriter, David Leslie Johnson McCormick, that's a long name, he's coming back, or McColdrick. He's returning. He's the original screenwriter from the first movie. No director has been set. Don't be surprised if Patrick Wilson gets behind the camera. He came back to do the last Insidious movie. The Red Door. So don't be surprised if he comes back to direct this final Conjuring movie. He has a blessing of his buddy James Wan, so
he directed.
I wouldn't be. Yeah. Patrick Wilson did. Yes.
Oh.
It was solid. It wasn't great. I finally saw the first 2 Insidious movies. I saw 1, 2. I didn't see 3 and 4, and then I came back to watch 5 because 3 and 4 are not related to 5.
Yeah, I think they're prequels.
They're prequels, yeah. But so yeah, that was interesting seeing that franchise in comparison to Conjuring. Nice. But yeah, what else do we have here? Travis Knight, director of Bumblebee, is directing Masters of the Universe. I was never the biggest Masters of the Universe fan, but it has so much potential just with the Skeletor and all the crazy fantasy aspects about transformation, myth.
It's been breathed new life in its animated roots with my boy Kevin Smith through Netflix.
Yeah, your best friend.
I would like to meet him formally. I was feet from him.
Oh wow!
Like, I went to one of his roadshow screenings of Jen and Silent Bob Reboot, which was wonderful. Notoriously, the man talks too long. Where he was like, "All right, I can only talk for 90 minutes." He was there for 3 hours after watching the full movie, so we were there for like 5+ hours. I left at I got there at like 6 o'clock. Left at midnight.
That is commitment. Holy shit.
Wonderful. I loved it a lot. I have a signed Funko Pop from his official store. I'm a fan, you could say.
Yeah.
But I've yet to check out Masters of the Universe itself because I never really dove into Masters of the Universe, He-Man and all that.
Me neither. Christian Harloff on the Schmoes channel used to always talk about Masters of the Universe, how he was involved with it, and the long production of that in terms of live action. So it looks like Travis Knight is the latest director to get a kick at this franchise. I think I should. What?
Well, he can do.
Yeah, you're right. He can do 80s so well. Like he did Bumblebee so well, which had a classic 80s ecstatic. And what made Bumblebee so interesting is that like it has that 80s family dynamic, but also it's like it's goofy, it's funny. Like it has all the tenets of a Masters of the Universe, being goofy, acknowledging how goofy and weird their universe actually is, but making it still very much heartfelt and fun at the same time. Like you got to take the lore. He-Man, there's a character called He-Man facing up against this dark skeletal warlord with named a lot of magic named Skeletor. Like it's weird, it's crazy. But if you embrace that, and still make it very emotional, very cool, like we need some good live action. I know I was pushing back against Zelda, but like we still need some good live action fantasy movies. A lot of fantasy movies have just been bombing recently because they're just not taking them seriously.
I remember back
good fantasy.
In a similar vein, I remember like watching back in the movie talk days, the constant like updates or fan questions asking about will they ever adapt Thundercats? How's the Thundercats adaptation going? And clearly we have not seen it. No. But that was a property that was like running along the lines of the same vein and airtime as He-Man for a generation of 80s and 90s kids, which is it's just interesting seeing these elements get into production. Obviously, Transformers has been like one of the major successes in many different iterations. So I have all the trust in him delivering. It's probably still my favorite. Probably is. It's just so heartfelt. Very Amblin.
It's very Amblin. I love it. And I mentioned fantasy. Last year we got Dungeons and Dragons, which is very close to this kind of franchise, Masters of the Universe as well. Dungeons and Dragons is fantastic. One of the best movies of last year. Didn't do so well at the box office. I think that was mostly release date issues because I think otherwise families went to go see it. They understood how crazy and weird and fun this Dungeons and Dragons universe can be. And if they keep that kind of energy with Masters of the Universe, which I know Travis Knight can, he kind of has that sensibility. It'll be fun. Also, besides Bumblebee, he also did a fantastic job with Kubo and the Two Strings,
Oh.
which is a Leica animated movie, which I love. I love Kubo and the Two Strings. It's very fun, very mystical, really up my alley. So if people have not seen Kubo and the Two Strings, I would recommend that Leica animated film. That kind of is what gave him the job of Bumblebee, I think. I think Kubo came out like 2016 or 15, and then Bumblebee was 2018. I think he hasn't directed anything since. I could be wrong, though. I don't feel like looking up his filmography. But besides that, lastly, I want to talk about they are doing a new casting category at the Oscars. We've been asking for a new category at the Oscars, mostly stunts. People have been clamoring for stunts. John Wick, Mission Impossible, James Bond, those kind of stuff. Stunts, I think, is coming. It's only a matter of time. But casting is like right there. Casting's right there in terms of like what other categories people want at the Oscars. I'm a huge Oscar fan. I always keep up with the Oscar campaigns and Oscar races each and every year, mostly since like 2015, 2014 times. And I think casting is going to be a very fun category because it's not just like who was the best cast.
Oppenheimer.
Like Oppenheimer does, or Barbie, right? Like, which one will win this year, Oppenheimer or Barbie? They're both really well casted movies.
They're both really well cast, but I mean, just everybody cast in Oppenheimer just plugged in so well to each element.
Yeah. Which is going to be interesting. Is best cast going to go to the best picture most of the time, or maybe not? Like
I don't know. Best directors don't win best picture.
That's true. That's also very true. The last couple of years has gone to like Christopher Nolan's winning this year, obviously, for Oppenheimer, which is most likely winning best picture. Last year, the Daniels won for Everything Everywhere. What else? Parasite. Bong Joon-ho won for Parasite. But you're right. Like, I'm trying to think of a best director that didn't end up winning. Famously, Barry Jenkins won for Moonlight. But Moonlight won Best Picture, actually, not La La Land.
Yes.
No. Actually, Chazelle won for director. Okay. Barry got Best Screenplay over La La Land, and then Moonlight went on to win Best Picture. Yeah. I think that's how it happened.
I think both Spike Lee and Jordan Peele won director Oscars, but their films didn't win Best Picture.
I think that might be it. Or not Jordan Peele, but
Jordan
Spike. For what?
For
Get
director.
Out? No, he won for Best Original Screenplay.
Oh.
His screenplay won in 2017. And he could have. That year was a weak year, 2017 for the Oscars at least. I forget what won that year, 2017. For Best Director, I can't remember it.
I remember calling for Daniel Kaluuya to win the Best Actor.
Yeah, it went to the guy from The Darkest Tower, or not Darkest Tower, Darkest Hour. Right?
Gary Oldman. That's right.
Gary Oldman. I think that was the year.
For a fat suit, we all said. He's good.
Yeah, he was good actually. So yeah, best casting can be very interesting moving forward because, like Nathan said, it doesn't have to be the best picture. I think last year I still would have gone with Everything Everywhere because Stephanie Hsu was amazing and Michelle Yeoh was like perfectly cast, and Ke Huy Quan was like perfectly cast to play that character. Let me see, 2021, like the Coda year, like I would have gave best casting to the Dune, and even though Dune didn't win best picture, I think Dune was best cast with Timothy, Zendaya, Rebecca, everybody in that movie.
I forgot Dune was up for best picture. Actually, my theater by the way, did get the reissue, so I got to see Dune again in IMAX.
Awesome. How was that, man?
So good.
It's such a great IMAX experience. I didn't have time to see it, but yeah, I bet. I can't wait. I'm just gonna watch it on my Blu-ray. I'm gonna see Dune Part 2 multiple times. I'm seeing the Sunday fan screening on the 25th. I'm seeing it that weekend twice, so I'm seeing it a lot.
I went from Dune to Argyle.
Oh boy, Argyle had a great smoke hallway scene at the very end. That was amazing.
Look, man, it's kind of fun. It is shockingly ridiculous.
How many twists? I got so tired,
That
Nathan.
was-
This is a twist. Oh,
I
this
was-
is a twist. Shut
I
up.
kept laughing. I kept laughing so many times. It was so funny. But then also, the whole reason I really wanted, because I was like, I want to know who the real Agent Argyle is.
Yeah, I guessed it early on, and
Did you
not in the movie, but like I'm like, are they gonna make them Agent Argyle? And I was like, that's just there's no way, and it ended up being the case. I was like, oh wow, okay, interesting.
I didn't know. But yeah, I still found it fun though.
It was fun. Yeah,
I love all the actors in it. Bryce Dallas Howard is wonderful.
She's great.
Hell of an end credit scene.
There's an end credit scene.
You didn't see it?
Wait, full spoilers. What's the end credit scene? The Kingsman one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I saw.
Okay, yeah, that's what I meant. There's nothing at the. I hope there's nothing at the end credits because I was waiting, and then they turned the theater lights on because it was the end of the day, and they were just ready to get me out of there.
Yeah, okay. That was a weird end credit scene. It was like,
I had to twist my brain.
What was it even setting up?
Well, okay, to twist my brain around it, I guess in the universe of the Argyle universe, the book of Argyle is in the realm of Kingsman, is what I'm understanding.
Okay.
Because it was like Argyle, book 1, the movie. Okay.
It was weird. I was so confused. I'm like, okay, I know the words Kingsman, but what is happening here? I was so confused.
I still haven't seen The King's Man. I need to check that out.
Do you know the post-credit scene of The King's Man already?
I haven't watched it, but I heard it's Hitler. And I'm just like, what are you going to do? What is Matthew Vaughn from the Twisted Mind of Matthew Vaughn? That is the best fucking tagline.
He's a super twisted for that post-credit scene. I have no idea what he was trying to do there.
I think it's streaming on Hulu. Yeah, check that out.
But yeah, it's a fun movie though. I like The King's Man. It's better than Kingsman 2, which I hate.
I don't hate. I'd be intrigued to revisit.
He puts a tracker up a girl's ass. Stop it. The movie's stupid.
It wasn't her ass. Anyway.
It wasn't?
No, it wasn't. Anyway.
Wow. Anyways, yikes.
Anyway, I'd be intrigued to revisit that though, now that I know who Pedro is, because at the time I was like, all right, who's this guy?
Who's this guy? There's a weird meat grinder scene. Anyways.
Cannibalism.
Yeah, not great, Bob.
Julianne Moore.
Can't stand that movie. And they killed off one of the best characters in the franchise.
Yeah, god damn it.
I was like, she's coming back. She's coming back. She never came back.
Maybe look, Colin Firth. Is Colin Firth?
Yeah.
Yeah, he came back. I get confused with Farrell every time.
And he came back to
Yeah, so I still anything's possible. I don't know, but also that was a bomb. That was a landmine. I don't know. When's Kingsman 3? That's in production, isn't it?
It's in production. I think it might be his next project. Honestly,
2017 was the last Kingsman.
It might be
for that.
It might be 2026 by the time we see Kingsman 3.
I miss Taron. I need to watch Tetris. And that
Tetris is great, and he's great in the black box. I forget what it's called. But he's great in the Apple show. He's great. It's a great show. But yeah, I gotta head out. So this was great. We went through a lot of trailers here. We're not getting monetized, but we had some good viewers along the way. So thank you, Caleb, and thank you everybody else for watching. Please like and subscribe. That's how we always have fun on this show. It keeps the lights on.
Ring the bell. You don't have to, but you know.
You kind of have to.
Also, just leave a like. Subscriber numbers don't matter anymore.
like, and subscribe. So yeah, our next podcast, we are continuing our Star Wars commentaries. This past Tuesday, we watched not the Bad Batch. We watched Asajj Ventress episodes of the Clone Wars. Watched Nathan and I get super emotional at the finale of the Clone Wars because, goddamn you, Dave Filoni, it still hurts. It still hurts. And we had so much fun watching Asajj Ventress and Nathan for the first time for some of those episodes.
Yeah.
And not for the first time though. Next week we're watching the finale of the Bad Batch.
First time since airing for me.
For me too as well. I haven't watched it. But we love the Bad Batch, so we're gonna be watching the Bad Batch the last 2 or 3 or 4 episodes there. I think we should also do we should break down the Bad Batch trailer. We haven't done that on air yet.
Yeah.
But the Bad Batch trailer for season 3 was really badass and really cool. So we're breaking that down, doing commentary. So keep up to date with us. You guys can find me on Twitter at HarrisEV9. Me tweeting about movie news, anime news, everything of the like, Star Wars, everything. Yeah, I'm exhausted. Work is killing me, but I can always have so much fun going back on this podcast, waking me up and talking this shit with Nathan. Wake me up inside. Yeah,
We were
save
going
me.
2 different directions.
Oh, where were you going? What song were you?
Before you go.
Oh,
Wham.
I'm more of an Evanescence kind of kid.
I love Evanescence. I'm expanding my palette on them because I feel like I've only listened to Life. Going Under, which is great.
Going Under rocks.
that is like right under there for me with them.
Yeah, Going Under is my shit.
But yeah, that being said, follow me at _TimeBlazer, making a show called Time Blazer with co-starring creative consultant Evan Harris.
Playing Ben, the best lawyer and best lightning user in fiction.
So, just real quick, a peak thing about having such drowsy downtime, working a slow register job, where I'm just like waiting for the next clientele to come up. I just be stagnant sitting around, and I'm coming up with new Time Blazer ideas, and I'm it's just so entertaining because I'll just be sitting there and I'm just like, where does everybody live? I was like, what's their living situation? Or I'm just like, who sits where on the couch? Like just that type of shit. Because you start building the dynamics camaraderie, and it's just fun, which you will all get to experience. It's gonna be fun. So that being said, if you enjoyed this, as Evan said, like button, subscribe, and already ring the bell. That being said, I hope you have a great day. I'll catch you guys next time.